It's about the decision to freeze my eggs or not. You'll have to watch it and find out. Jeff and I worked on the music together. It's on YouTube. Go check it out.
Mhm.
As you were.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like my plugs are a little bit more smooth. Would you say so, Jenna? Yeah, Jenna's giving me like a hard out, bro. We're cutting that other part there, fam. We might put it in the caption.
Listen, it's yin and
Look,
yang.
you would have been able to move into frozen my eggs and me once we started talking about like the food that's in Limcha and like how I love like eggs.
Yeah.
All right, hi Sham.
Hi, Jeff.
We know each other quite well, so I mean, like, there's no need for the like little formalities of. How
We
you
don't
are
need
and
the
stuff.
intro, but maybe the audience does.
I don't know. We were talking about what bulk food item we would be, right? Just before.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm a cinnamon quill. You agreed with that.
Mm-hmm.
And you might be some kind of spiced nut, a treat
Or
nut,
a clove.
a clove.
Yeah.
Mm. What does your current day-to-day look like?
Just started on a feature film as a director's assistant.
Okay. Can you say what the feature film is?
It's called Daisy Chain.
Okay.
It's a rom-com, romantic comedy.
Is this the one that you wanted to use, well, that the team wanted to use Limcha Supermarket for?
Yes.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. And what are they going to do exactly in there?
There's a little scene in there between
Oh.
the two romantic interests.
In the like in the supermarket aisles?
Mhm.
All right. Do you know which aisles in particular?
I don't know if they're shooting there in the end.
Oh, what?
Yeah, but it was just like they were looking into the
That was
location.
the idea. I mean, the reason I ask is because each aisle has quite a lot of personality in Limcha Supermarket, right?
Shout out to the
Yeah,
supermarket.
shout out to the supermarket. But, like, there's real, like, mise en scène there. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, if you want to be in, like, the paper money, death money, incense aisle, you know, you're saying something. If you want to be in the muesli bar aisle, it's something else. If you want to be in, like, the dried, like, mysterious foods aisle, same thing, you know?
Okay, well maybe I'll make a feature and
Maybe you should.
use that location.
Yeah.
What's your day-to-day looking like at the moment?
At the moment, because of Fresh Laundry,
Shout out Fresh Laundry.
shout out to Fresh Laundry. Maybe for the viewers that don't know, it's basically 5 laundromats around Tāmaki that have washing machine jukeboxes in them, and they're spinning unreleased Aotearoa music all of May, and Sham's one of the artists on there. We call this compilation the C-sides, like the letter. And so yeah, my day-to-day has been just a lot of washing machine laundry related things, which I'm really loving. I'm taking apart washing machines right now, right? And I've got these huge like washing machine drums. And I'm hoping to make lampshades out of them. You know, the perforated thing and sort of
Like as part of the installation or
as like
post
volume
installation?
2, you know, as like
Yeah,
an
cool.
exhibition maybe
Mm-hmm.
in Limcha at workshop.
Jeff, you're an installation
I'm
genius.
an installation guy. I don't know. I just put stuff in places. I think that's basically what an installation is. Right? You just put something in a place.
Yep, that's
And
how we met.
Is it? That is how we met
Yeah.
at Vendor.
Mhm.
You wrote about it, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
You wrote very well about it as well.
Thank you very much.
What are you reading right now?
Listen, you asked me that recently, and
Did
the
I?
answer's the same.
What are you-
Emails. I'm reading emails.
Oh God. Oh, that's right. Then I was like, "What's the worst email you've had?"
Redacted.
Really?
The worst. Can you think of the worst email you've received of late? Let's put them on blast. Just to the camera right there.
I haven't had any like truly bad. I mean, I feel like maybe the emails that come through to the Fresh Laundry Seasides Gmail, when I feel like we've blasted social media with just so much info. They're like, so when's the gig gonna happen in the laundromats? And I'm like, bruv, there's no
not.
gig happening,
It's
man.
not happening.
You know what I mean? Read the basic information, bro. When
That
did
would
I
be
say
cool,
gig
though.
in any? Yeah.
That would be cool if there was a gig. Also, off topic, I ran into my collaborator last night
Your collaborator. Which
on those
collab-
tracks.
What?
He's my favourite, so I can't say because
What on the Seaside track
Mhm.
that you did? The one who produced it.
mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I bumped into, see, this is what I love about Auckland. Last night, I bumped into 5 people that I knew just walking from like basement to Coco's.
You know,
And that's community.
what's your relationship to, a sense of belonging in a community, and then like the intention to push the envelope, and to do something new? Because for me, like, I've definitely had the experience where even within my own team, like a small team of artists working on a project, I've had to challenge them, like, in quite unpleasant ways. And sometimes that's been the purpose of like a certain aspect of a project, and it's been like really unpleasant, but ultimately I think has been an important part of being just an artist that's serving the art, and hopefully strengthening further those connections with those people. You know? Got any hot takes on that?
I mean, you just asked me like 3 questions.
Take anything you want from it.
Can you distill it a little more?
Where do you find the balance between being, pleasant in your community, and also pushing the envelope as an artist, provoking, and being pleasant and provoking in your community?
Yeah, interesting question, because I think my mind immediately goes to like being a nice person, like being pleasant and being a nice person sort of being synonymous. And for me, being nice and being a good person are not the same thing.
Absolutely not. Yeah, neither.
And I think at the end of the day, the best thing that we can do is be authentic and be truthful, but not be an asshole about it.
Absolutely.
And that's the balance that I think is sometimes challenging for it can sometimes be a challenging balance to strike, I've observed. And even in terms of, I feel like we've talked about this before, critiquing people's work and the hesitance that I've witnessed to, especially like in a small country as well.
And a small and young scene, right?
Yep, and community, to have those conversations of feedback with people that you don't necessarily have a pre-existing rapport or relationship with, and the intention being that we just want to elevate the work and elevate what the community's doing.
Absolutely. I went to Nightmares the other day, and Rosabelle and Khan and Damien were chatting, and Rosabelle said something about like she was a critic for a little while, like she was writing critiques, and on one hand it's like in a young kind of still emerging scene, more often than not, a critique is taken as like a trotting on, or like a poo-pooing of someone's efforts. But then Rosabelle's like, but actually, it's probably one of the greatest acts of love to like truly give someone constructive feedback. And I know within my own practice, like, there are probably 3 or 4 people that I go to, and I have been going to for years, that give me the most brutal feedback and honest. But like I know now that it's like it's always from the right place, and I've come to enjoy it, which is a strange thing. It's kind of sadistic. Like, it's more unpleasant for them now having to talk like real just brutal stuff,
And
I love it.
But it's also the same in relationships, right? Like, just
Absolutely.
having the friends that can call you out. There's definitely parallels there, because ultimately, if the intention is just to be better in whatever capacity that is, as a friend, as a member of the community, as an artist, then I think it is really important to have those people around you to ground you and put you in your place sometimes.
Absolutely.
And remind you what you're trying to do and who you're trying to be.
Yeah, what
on the
greater...
occasions that you might waver a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to know,
and
to
you
have
know,
like a shared goal.
I'm that person for you too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think within that kind of, if we're zooming in just to like a friendship, right? It's like, yes, giving constructive and brutal, honest feedback is, as just an action, is a very good thing to do most of the time. But a good friend can also discern quite clearly when that person can receive that, how much they can receive. Like
reading the room.
Reading the room, right? Because
it's
you
not
could
always
lose
the time.
a lot of friends if you just always throwing it out there. And I don't know, there's a lot to go into there, right? I'm just thinking about, like, there are some artists for whom I'm just like, I'm so happy for their success because it's important to elevate each other, especially if the efforts are sincere. But sometimes I can't stand the work, and for me that doesn't feel contradictory or like conflicted anymore. I'm like, like I am genuinely happy for you. What I'm feeling now is like, mean, you're getting up there. But if it was me, I would do it differently. I'd want to push it in a certain way.
Right.
I think the art still.
But that's the difference between taste and
Absolutely.
admiring someone's integrity and authenticity to what they're doing, even if you don't necessarily subscribe to it or it isn't like to your taste or palate, right?
100%. Taste is the key word there for me. Yeah. Crazy.
And you got so much of that.
What do you mean?
Taste.
Yeah, I got taste.
You know your taste.
Well, I know exactly what I like.
Yeah.
I know what sauce I like. Yeah, I know what sauce I like. I know what sauce that I don't like from you, from others. But yeah, I think, and then to like zoom it out again, right? Like you can see all the different tastes and you can agree and disagree, but ultimately when you can see that the intention is to serve the culture, to serve the art, which ultimately belongs to the people, no matter what, you can get behind that, or at least I can get behind that. And I remember reading something from Nick Cave's Red Hand Files, and basically him just talking about alienating old fans with like new work, and not that the intention is to alienate, but the intention is always to sort of push further, to surprise yourself with your new work, and ultimately the journey is that you have to be ready to say goodbye to some people that won't follow you into the next step. A lifetime's work, right? I think of always knowing when it's time to say goodbye to a certain thing.
But then I think also when there's certain themes or topics that we're drawn to, I think regardless of that evolution, there's still going to be some consistency with who's coming along for that ride and that journey.
Absolutely. I think the spirit of your work probably stays the same, or is recognizable for like someone who's truly there with you. I remember years ago talking with one of my best friends, Lloyd, about this like interesting ratio. And it was like 60-30-10, I think, and like we were talking about it like as a percentage. And say take Radiohead for example. It's like there are people who will say they love Radiohead, but all they know is Creep, the single, and they're the 60% fans. And then like the 30% fans are the ones who love Radiohead, but they know the album on which Creep is, and they know it really well. And then there's the 10% like true fans that know the entire discography. But nonetheless, every single person within that group is still a fan, and then to be able to talk to each layer there, I think is one of our jobs as an artist. Not always trying to get that, but that is a way to make a livelihood, that is a way to sort of respect accessibility, way to sort of stay connected to the world, I think. Yeah.
You a Radiohead fan?
I'll always be a Radiohead fan. I've probably thrashed them to the point where, like, it's like eating too much, like, mayonnaise. You know what I mean? Moving into the culinary world, right? Like, that's where we first met, where I released my album basically as a menu, and the songs were the dishes.
You're doing really well plugging your work, Jeff. I
I
need to
am,
take
yeah,
a leaf
look.
out of your book.
Yeah, you should.
I have this documentary. It came out last year. Jeff and I
It's
did
to
the
do with
music on it.
eggs, I guess it's food,
Yeah.
right?
And it's about the decision to freeze my eggs or not. You'll have to watch it and find out. Jeff and I worked on the music together. It's on YouTube. Go check it out.
Mm-hmm.
As you were.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like my plugs are a little bit more smooth. Would you say so, Jenna? Yeah. Jenna's giving me like a hard out, bro. We're cutting that other part there, fam. We might put it in the caption.
Listen, it's yin and
Look,
yang.
you would have been able to move into frozen my eggs and me once we started talking about, like, the food that's in Limcha and, like, how I love, like, eggs.
Yeah. And then, okay, well, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going.
Yeah,
All right.
Look. I was trying. See, I was making an opening for you.
Mm-hmm.
There, you know,
All right.
like
All right, show me what you got.
talking about. I don't know. How would you? Okay, here's a question that I've always wanted to ask someone. But I always forget how to articulate it.
Mm-hmm.
Give it a stab.
It's like your favorite song. What would it be as? It's a diluted version. I guess what food would your favorite song be? It's not that, but it's definitely in that realm. There's like 2 or 3 more steps within that
Right.
kind of translation.
Like a crossover question.
Yeah, cross-disciplinary question. There we go. That way we can plug both of ourselves in terms of who we are as artists. Not restricted to a single medium. Would you like to say more about that?
I think the question of a favorite song is I think
Problematic. Agreed.
well, not only that, but just like it's so listen, I have a whole playlist of specifically my, like, it's called my personality playlist. And it's just all the songs
Coldplay.
of my listen, I love a bit of early Coldplay. I'm not sure what they were up to when they did that pivot and tried to be more like relevant in the pop space. Jenna's nodding.
I can see that.
But
Lukewarm play.
yeah, it went from Coldplay to lukewarm play, for sure.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, a favorite song. Do you have a favorite song?
I mean, currently, I think of like James Holden. I'm listening to a lot of James Holden, an electronic UK artist, and there's a song called Lump.
But are you?
I love being a bit of a lump sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
As a food, it would be a couscous salad with halloumi, sunflower seeds, little bits of radish, chives, and a few olives, black olives.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it would be.
Like a calamata?
Yeah, that's actually, I've remembered my question now. It's basically that. Like, I wanted the artists who were doing this APRA seminar to describe to the audience one of their favourite songs, but as a food, and then us try to guess what the song was.
And what do you think the success rate of that would have been?
Oh, impossible, but I think it would have been fun. Do you know what I mean? I hate a boring question at a music seminar. It's all the same. Oh, how do you sort of like make it as a musician?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I'm just like, oh, tired, bro. You know, like we've all asked these questions, man. And like we've heard all the same answers, but it really kills me, man, to hear the same question, which is probably why I go for like the more cooked, obscure questions.
Are you a big astrology
Well, clearly.
Gemini?
What are you, Jenna?
Cancer sign, Gemini rising,
Oh.
Capricorn moon.
I'm a Capricorn.
I don't know my placements because the idea of inputting all my data into a website freaks me out. So if there are any analog witches out there, hit me up. I'd be keen to know what my placements are.
Yeah, I don't care.
About
I
mine?
I don't care about star signs in general. Like, it's kind of fun. Like, as like a rubric, as a template, I'll have a bit of a yarn. But
Do you know your Myers-Briggs?
oh,
What it is?
INTJ.
INTJ. Ooh,
You've got to be an ENFP for sure.
I'm I think it's ENTP. Oh yeah.
No, you're not
ENFP, yeah, no, I'm
TP.
not T is thinking, isn't it? Yeah.
He don't do that.
I think a lot, fam. I don't overthink like shame here, though. You know.
I'm
but,
ENFP too.
Really?
Yeah.
It's on the line, though, isn't it?
I do. I feel like I oscillate between
Yeah.
ENTP and ENFP
I think I was pretty kind of close to the middle too for T. And
because we're very thinky, but we're also very feely.
Yeah, I think in other conversations that we've had, like, I have a lot of capacity to think, but I think just over the years,
Flex.
over the years I've just put like brakes on it because there's a point where it just spirals out of control. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm just getting unhappy here, you know. Yeah.
So the key to happiness? Don't think.
I think the key to happiness, one of the keys to happiness, is to not put all
Overthink.
of your expectations of happiness on thinking your way through life. Yeah.
Jeff, you said, I don't believe in nor support the tortured artist narrative. Have you ever? How come? What's reductive about it?
I think it ultimately for me is an image pushed by like the music industry commercial side of things. I think it's a very one-dimensional image of the artist, and you know, it serves its purpose for selling. I think where it's most harmful is for aspiring young artists when they're like, where do I start? And they're like, well, I guess I start by being really unhappy and tortured. And I think, well, I know for sure that that there are many artists that I love out there that have gone through that and come out the other end and you know, been happy and also made extremely good work. And that's not at all to dismiss like actual tortured artists that really had troubles in their life. Like, I love Elliott Smith and I love his art, but that's not the choice. That's not the path that I'd want to go down. I want to make a lifetime of art, you know. And yeah, that's it. You? What do you think?
If the tortured artist is genuine, if it's an authentic expression, I guess that's one thing. And if it's something that is adopted as like a blueprint, then that's disingenuous. And I don't know, I feel like people can see through that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Are there any themes that you're drawn to in your work? And if so, what are they and why?
I feel like you're quite ready to answer that question yourself right here.
I feel like my answer's more obvious than yours. That's why I'm wondering.
What is the obvious answer, at least to you?
I mean, so much of what I'm interested in is rooted in my experience as someone living in diaspora, as a first-generation New Zealander, a global citizen. Like, I've moved around a bit. You know, it's a very kind of local meets global. That's quite clear to me. And probably clear to you as well.
Very clear to me too.
But I'm curious about, because I feel like you are fascinated by the smallest things, and you'll zoom in so hard, and it could be anything. That's like my read of your.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely definitely one of the kind of muscles I like to exercise. And that sits within kind of maybe a philosophy of like, if you go deep enough into the personal and the subjective, you always end up at the universal. So I like to obsess over details, because I know that eventually it always makes its way out the other end. I'm like, I'm back in this like open and vast field. I mean, thematically for installations, it's always about activating somewhat overlooked and public spaces where you can feel anonymous, spaces where it can be both private and public, like the laundromats. And I think, yeah, third spaces, I think that's probably the kind of current conversation that's in the mainstream. That's the installation. But with music, I mean, lyrically, thematically, I think it always does somehow come back to just the human experience of maybe human conditioning, how I think art can reframe conditioning, and that can be really helpful to sort of work through a difficult experience or any experience and understand that experience. But I don't think art can uncondition or decondition conditioning, if that makes sense.
Why not?
Well, I think that it's a spiritual. I'm very confident that it's an actual spiritual practice. A deeper practice, even deeper than art, that undoes conditioning. I think, just like I said before, I think it's art reframes conditioning, and that's very helpful. But the real unraveling of it, I think that's a different work.
Thanks.
And I guess maybe coming back to the cue cards that Jenna so kindly prepared for us, how spiritual would you say you are? And how does this impact your creative practice?
I would say the closest thing to spirituality for me is when I'm feeling aligned with, I guess, the things that bring me energy and like make me lose track of the time, whether that's making music or painting or drawing or good bands or spending time with people who I connect with on a deep, like, fundamental level, or being out in nature.
Yeah.
That's like the closest thing for me.
To
I've always been quite envious of people that have like a religion that they subscribe to, because I think that would make life so much easier.
I remember, it makes it quite clear, doesn't it? Yeah, I definitely, I have this interesting distinction in my head between, like, I love being in nature, I love being on hikes, I love how simple life becomes on a multi-day hike. You just like walk, eat, sleep, shit, you know, and I think I need to sort of create space from my work by just sometimes going out into the bush and just sort of like being deeply physically engaged with my body, I guess, and like all of the thoughts and all of that work is still happening on the periphery or at the back, but I'm not like getting tangled up in it. Yeah, I see that as like a really important part of my creative practice, like just giving it mad space. What about the flow question in here? Yeah. When are you in flow?
Truly when I think above all probably making music.
Oh yeah.
Or if I'm playing the piano and singing. I could just do that for hours. I do that for hours.
What was that thing you said at the start of fan camp last year, that filmmaking is your first love, but music is your true love. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Yeah.
I love you.
It's a good one.
Yeah. I do feel that way. I feel like, I mean, one of the things that pulled me to music in the first place, coming from a film background, was that film is such a collaborative practice and takes so much time, and there's so much beauty and intricacy in that. But with music, I feel like there is the possibility of almost immediate catharsis.
Yeah. I think there can be like a very direct, simple and
Yeah.
easy route without any compromise of
Yeah.
integrity or quality. Yeah, I reckon.
And that was like addictive to me.
Yeah, I think it's important to make things easy, especially within like a committed creative practice, because so much of it is already difficult. No need to go into the details of what's difficult, you know, like we all know what it is, but when you can make it easy without compromising, I think you should.
Can I actually? You did Vipassana, didn't you?
Did you?
No, but last season, I think I've had like 3 guests have done it.
Right.
I'm interested to hear about when you did it and the experience of that and how that impacted you.
Okay. Well, I did my first Vipassana course over 10 years ago, and it's been like the main anchor of my life since, basically. And the thing that comes to mind with like a creative practice and like a committed Vipassana meditation practice is that I view them very separately. And that's not to say that they don't inform each other, but when people say like, oh, you know, art or music is my meditation, that's not my approach. Like, my practice is daily, morning and evening. And one of the things that practice does, and it goes deeper than this, but one of the things it does is it creates a lot of space for me to be able to examine the ideas and the intentions that come up a lot more easily. It creates a lot of space in my mind to be able to realize an idea, and then I think also check in with the massive highs and lows that come with being or just being alive, but definitely within the realm of being an artist. So yeah, the practice is the most important thing to me for Vipassana, and it's kept separate from. I don't talk about it as the same thing as like my artistic practice, but without Vipassana, Goodspace wouldn't exist as a clear understanding. And Goodspace is basically an approach where Hauora, wellbeing, and artistry have to evolve at the same time, never at the expense of each other. Yeah, no tortured artist there.
Who would you recommend it for, Vipassana? Would you?
Do you ever look at people and think, damn, I think you would benefit from...
There are certain people that I feel like are ready to jump into a 10-day Vipassana course, and I'll sort of get a feeling and hopefully bring it up in a skillful way, be like, hey, there's this course. And I think it's quite a commonly discussed thing these days, especially with so much kind of mental health talk. I think someone has to be ready and willing to give the technique fair trial. So I don't recommend it to everyone. I don't throw it out kind of like super far and wide. I think it's important that whoever goes on a course can get benefit from it there and then, is receptive enough to it. So case by case. Yeah. I would like to know, Shan, about how your relationship with your parents influences your art.
My relationship with my parents. My parents and I are pretty aligned.
Yeah, that's clear to me.
And oh my God, where do I start?
Yeah, it's loaded, bro, but I know you can do it.
I have a lot of respect and love for the way that they think. And I also think that if there's one thing that I can say about myself, it's that I think that I have a good heart, and I think I've inherited that from them. So in terms of my creative and artistic practice, I would say there's so much of what I do that is influenced by their life stories and how they've responded to the things that have happened in their lives. I don't know if that's like quite vague. It is a little vague without getting into what their life stories have been. But I don't know, I feel like I always kind of hear them in everything that I do.
When I met them for the first time, I was like, it made perfect sense to me. Why you are how you are, why you do what you do. So I was just keen to hear it from your side. Yeah, me.
Can you speak to that in terms of like mum versus dad?
Nah.
It's more a collective energy.
I mean, look, when I do spend more time with them, I can probably answer that more adequately. But I think if we're just talking about thinking and feeling deeply, it was very clear that they both did. They both have an immense capacity for that. But your dad and I, we had quite an intellectual chat, but maybe also like honing in on small details, and then like the kind of the tunnel journey of like going deep into something and then like being spat out the other end,
zooming in and zooming out and zooming in.
And so I think I spoke more to your dad, and then because your mum sort of went and sat somewhere where it was quieter and was like, come, like
this was at the premiere screening of
that's right
my documentary
of your documentary Frozen,
my eggs and me.
And then eventually, because we were so immersed in conversation and didn't move, your mum joined us, which was ultra sweet, and got right in there, which I loved.
But going back to the ENFP, the Myers-Briggs conversation, that oscillation between the thinking and feeling that I have is very much, I think, a byproduct of them.
Yeah.
And like, Dad, for instance, he's both an artist and a creative and an academic. And so I get the thinking from the academic sort of intellectual side, and then I get the feeling from
without
the
sort of making them one or the other. That obviously both, but no, that was the kind of first snapshot I got.
Yeah, great question.
Really great questions, by the way.
Cool.
Finish these sentences.
Yeah.
I'm inspired by my parents, people who move through the world with integrity and genuinely care about their communities. I'm inspired by observing people. I'm really into my people watching. I'm inspired by music, even when my life was more skewed towards film. Music was always something that was part of that like conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about you? Food, I'm sure, as well.
Well, I think the food is just like, it's something that I have to do. So it's always kind of, it's like a staple inspiration. I mean, maybe to sort of slightly change the phrasing of the flow sentence here, like when I'm in flow, what I like to do is stop when I know that I could do a little bit more work, and then go to sleep, because I've found from experience that the next day picking that work up again is always easy. And this is a Murakami technique. I read this in the writer. So yeah, when I'm in flow, I like to stop when I know I could do a little bit more, so that I can keep flowing the next day.
Which is a little bit like just start the thing so that you can.
Yeah, exactly. I think
keep
it's
going with it.
creating conditions to keep the creativity going. I think that's part of the job description.
Yeah.
I'm inspired by minute attention to detail, and then also like gaping absence of detail sometimes, you know, like again, the laundromats, like sometimes the branding or like the design of laundromats, because it's so functional and there isn't like a design background there, it's like, let's get it up and going and serve the community and get some work done. Sometimes that lack of design thinking, that lack of detail is
that's so true. Like an
brilliant.
absence of something inspires you to fill in some gaps sometimes.
I think amazing things are born from that. I think that's what I'm inspired by, that there are just so many approaches to creating something new, or at least reframing an old thing to feel new. That's what gives me a thrill.
Yeah.
I'd love to be known for always creating something that surprises me and whoever's listening or watching or partaking each time. I'd love to be known for a lifetime of art that has never compromised on its vision of just discovery. Yeah.
I would love to be known for making other people feel heard and seen in their experiences, especially people who are from the diaspora, the Iranian diaspora, the SWANA diaspora, even just at large, any member of a diaspora, and building community.
Yeah, to be known for the feeling of belonging in the experience of displacement, maybe.
Finish.
That's it, I reckon, eh? Solid.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.